everyone, so I am back for another little one-on-one video, I guess, with you guys. In one of my videos I said I like talk to myself and stuff, basically me thinking out loud, and I was like, well, might as well turn it into a video if I'm going to sit there and think out loud. But I was just thinking about, people saying I could make money at doll restoration with my reroutes and stuff like that. One reason I don't do that is you're always going to run across picky people, and I'm a person that doesn't like confrontation or, I don't want to encounter a wild Karen, basically, in the doll community, because that would just ruin everything for me. So, I mainly just restore my own dolls. I would like to be able to make money restoring dolls and rerouting dolls and stuff, and some people would just be happy that I just detangled their doll's hair and washed it and made the doll look, not like a thrift store doll, basically. But I have a doll here. This is a bubbling mermaid I have had for a very long time. I got her in, I think, November 2009, so she was my first bubbling mermaid, and she was actually given to me by the person working at the flea market I got her from, because she was broken in half, basically, at the waist. Like, literally, she was just half a Barbie. Like, there was a pile of Barbies, just like, let me see. I'll just pile a bunch of my dolls up. So, like, there was this little, like, crate or whatever of Barbies, and then on the side there was some CDs and whatever. There's just a pile of Barbies, and then I, like, found half of a Barbie, which was her. And then I found her, like, mermaid portion, like, underneath a bunch of other Barbies, so then I quickly realized what doll it was. And he gave her to me, and she didn't have her fin. I stole this fin from another doll. So another doll sacrificed her fin so that my very first bubbling mermaid could have one, because she didn't have one originally. Her fin might have been there, but then again, I don't know, because I didn't look hard enough. I didn't think to look for her fin because I thought it was gone. But, her hair did not look this good when I found her at all. And even after I took her home and cleaned her up, yeah, her hair was clean and it was brushed out, but there was pieces sticking up everywhere. This is way before I learned how to boil wash. And even boil washing, I discovered by accident. Like, I had my Pretty Flowers doll. It was my first Pretty Flowers brunette. And I was trying to get her bangs to stay down, because her bangs were always sticking straight up or sticking out, and I had seen someone say on YouTube, oh, you can, or I'm not sure if it was on YouTube or if it was online somewhere, like Flickr or anything, but someone had mentioned that warm water could, like, potentially get the bangs, like, if you boil some water, that would be able to set the hair to stay down. And I noticed, because my first Pretty Flowers Barbie, her bangs were all frizzy looking and stuff. She has kanekalon hair. And back then I hated kanekalon because I could never get it to look nice when it went frizzy like that, until I learned how to boil wash. This was like back in 2013 maybe, when I made this accidental discovery. But I went to try, I boiled some water on the stove. That was how I used to do it. Now I heat up a bowl in the microwave and boil wash that way. But I literally had the boiling water there. And this is why I love kanekalon hair. Kanekalon is my favorite hair fiber. It's my favorite hair type, just because, look at this. But not only that, but as soon as her bangs, I went to put her bangs in the water to make them stay down, and they just instantly went straight. Like, her hair, her bangs had been frizzy for so long, regardless of how many times I had brushed her bangs out. And they instantly went straight, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Because I thought the hair was going to like get fried or something, because, you know, direct heat coming in contact with doll hair. That's what I thought would happen, but to me, kanekalon is like the miracle hair. It's like you could have the frizziest, most matted looking hair, and it doesn't matter how many times you brush it, it's going to freaking be frizzed and matted. But with kanekalon, you can take that sort of hair, like a hair that looks beyond repair, and just dunk it in some boiling water, and then it will turn out like this. I mean, if anybody's, you know the hair types, you know how kanekalon hair is, frizzy, puffball. I mean, yeah, it straightens out the hair, but it's like the most dramatic transformation, and it becomes super silky after you boil wash it. It's just amazing. But yeah, boil washing, I discovered that accidentally. So, I mean, and then rerooting, it's taken me years to perfect it. And even now, I'm pretty sure I have a long way to go before, you know, I get as good as anybody else. Like, there's always someone else that's going to be better than me, and you're always going to have that one person that if you're going to restore their doll, they want it to look exactly new. Like this one. They would probably, like, you'll have those people that want you to, like, they would send me this doll. Let's say this doll was in the exact same condition that I found her in at the flea market. Like, broken in half and missing her fin and stuff. There's always going to be that one person that is going to send you their doll. They're going to want you to make an entirely new top for her. They'd probably want you to repaint all of this, get her a new fin, restyle her hair. Like, let's say her hair completely went straight in the boil wash and stuff like that. They would want you to perfectly recrimp it. There's always that one person that's they're gonna want the doll to look brand spanking new. And I'm sorry, but I'm not a wizard like that. So, I mean, this doll has gone through many transformations over the years. I recently boil washed her hair again, and she's looked better than she ever has. But I mean, I have washed this doll and brushed her out and cleaned her numerous times to get her like this. So it's not an overnight thing. And you could see my solution. I think I did this back in 2011 or something, painted this top on her. You can see I was kind of going for a Pearl Beach Barbie sort of looking top. So, you know, it was around the same time period, so I was like, you know, I might as well just give her a Pearl Beach looking top and stuff like that. I don't make tops for these, and she didn't have her original one, so I just painted this one on as something a little more permanent. And, you know, this one won't get scratched, or, like, if I made a fabric one for her, it would get ripped and stuff like that, because I do play with my dolls, and accidents happen. So, since she was already used and damaged, I decided, well, why not? But somebody wouldn't like this. There's that one person that wouldn't like me doing this, and they would throw a massive fit over it. So, the same with me rerooting. They probably wouldn't like the hair that I choose to use, like the kanekalon braiding hair. Here's a doll. She's one I recently completed. These dolls had several different names. They're by M and C, so it's an M and then the and symbol, and then C, so M and C. Actually, let me see if it's on the back of her head. Let's see if I can focus on this. There, nope. You gonna focus or not? You can kind of see it. It says MNC China. There we go, that's a little bit better. There. So yeah, MNC, she's not Mattel, so. But this is kanekalon braiding hair that I rerouted her with, and it's not the ideal hair fiber, according to a lot of other people that customize and restore dolls. But it's 100 times better than what she had. And she literally didn't have any hair in the middle, so. And it's actually nice. I mean, look at that. Look at the shine. It has bounce to it. It has movement. And the amount of hair that you get in one of those packs, I mean, I'm a doll restorator, rerouter on a budget, basically. And since I love kanekalon hair, yes, this hair originally had a texture in it. The hair was basically like this originally. It had a bunch of little tiny micro crimps in it to give it that sort of texture. That it was like trying to achieve the texture that an African American woman's hair would have, but it was just basically a bunch of little crimps, just teensy weensy little crimps. And this is what happened. Like, I boil washed the hair and it went completely pin straight, and then I made it wavy. So this is the hair that I like to use. I mean, most people would prefer to use, they would prefer to go to Restore Doll, or dollyhair.com. There's lots of other websites I've heard of, and they would rather buy regular doll hair, like meant for rerouting dolls. Me, I'm perfectly fine with using this hair, but not everybody would, so I just reroute my own dolls, and then they go in my collection. I don't try to sell them or anything like that. Not only that, not everyone's going to know how to take care of this hair. They might buy this doll like if I popped her up on eBay or something. Like, rerouted this one, popped her up on eBay. Someone sees how nice the hair is. Of course, I would include, you know, a description of what hair I used. But, you know, some people, they don't look too far into that. They don't care. They just see how beautiful the doll is and buy it now, you know. It's like this doll, I might charge, I don't know, like maybe $35 to $40 because of, you know, the hair that I used, you know, the rerouting, like the time and stuff and the labor that went into this, because rerouting is not an overnight process. So it takes time and energy and work. So, you know. And of course I wouldn't send her nude. I would like try to put her in some sort of outfit, like go to the Dollar Tree and buy her a cute outfit or something like that. So at least they would have an outfit for her. And you know, the length of the hair. But I mean, some people aren't going to know how to take care of this hair. They're just going to click buy it now because they see a doll with beautiful long hair. Then they get the doll, and then they would be like, oh. Like, they would go to brush her hair, and yeah, if you're using, it all depends on what utensil you use to brush this hair. I use this. This is a cat brush, dog brush. I got this at the Dollar Tree. I've been using a brush like this for years. And it is just, you can see that. I stopped using human brushes on my dolls long ago. I would always rip clumps of hair out. So yeah, I never use a human brush on my doll's hair unless it's like the only thing I have. But no, people aren't gonna, not everyone's gonna want to use that. I've heard people say they don't like the noise this brush makes, so they won't buy that brush because of the sounds. And that's literally the best utensil I found for kanekalon hair. So, but not everyone's going to know how to take care of this hair. They might wind up using something else and snag the hair and create a big knot, and then they'll leave me a bad review or something on eBay. So, you know, that's just my ramble and why I really don't customize or restore dolls for other people. If I could count on people not to be picky or anything, then, you know, I would probably do it, but I just don't think I could handle that. And, you know, my price point, you know, if I were going to reroute, like, let's say I was going to take this one. Let's say if the person didn't like short hair on their dolls and they wanted hair all the way to the ground, well, I use a cheaper, like, hair alternative. To me, it's a nice quality hair fiber, but they might not like the hair quality. They might not like the color that I chose, or they might not like the length. Maybe I didn't make the hair thin enough or thick enough. You know, there's always going to be something, so I don't know. My dolls are good enough, you know, my restorations are good enough to please me, and, you know, just sometimes people are hard to please, so I don't like to deal with that. So I just restore my own dolls. I fix up my own dolls, and then I keep them in my collection. I guess while I'm at it, I might as well show you guys. I did wind up boil washing. Like my last video, I did wind up boil washing the other two Palm Beach Skipper dolls. So, let me get them in order here. So, it's really awkward. So first, second, third. Okay, so I included these two girls in the last video, and their hair is all fixed. This one I partially rerouted. So the other dolls I showed, so I boil washed her hair, trimmed her up, and this is why I love kanekalon hair. Just look at this. And I'd have to say that Saran hair is my least favorite hair fiber, because I don't like how, well, for example, here's a doll with Saran hair. I don't like how clumpy it is. Sometimes it can feel kind of waxy, like crayons or something. It always looks kind of warped to me, like with kanekalon hair. You always have that, like, from root to tip, perfectly straight look. And even with, and even when you have a texture in it, it looks neater. It doesn't look, like, squiggly or anything like this. Like, this turned out, like, precise. It's like a waterfall. And this doll, her hair is just, this is a newer fashionista doll, and her hair just looks really messy. I would have preferred her to have, I would either prefer her to have, like, high-quality nylon, like one of these dolls. I prefer high-quality nylon over Saran. It's shinier and more durable. That's another thing. Saran hair gets breakage. It gets split ends really easily. Let me see. Doll with Saran hair. So, yeah, you can see with this doll, she does have Saran hair. And, like, you can see all these little shorter pieces. Those are all hairs that have gotten, like, split ends and breakage. I have dolls that are worse than this. In fact, there was a Skipper doll with the brunette hair. Like, one of the newer Skipper dolls with brunette hair I had to reroute because she had this darker hair. And once darker hair like this gets split ends and breakage, you can really see it. The split ends and breakage will look kind of whitish, and it's just not a attractive look. So yeah, Saran hair, in my opinion, is just, I liked it when I was a kid because it was shiny, and the hair fibers were thicker, and when you would ponytail the hair, it would, like, the hair was so loose that it would drop like a natural ponytail. Meanwhile, with kanekalon, if you ponytail this doll's hair like on top of her head, it's going to stick straight up like a palm tree. So those were the two things I liked about Saran. But I prefer kanekalon because when I find a doll like this with kanekalon hair, I know that the hair is going to have longevity. It's going to last. It doesn't get split ends or breakages easily. It is flyaway, and it is a little bit more brittle. Like if you pull on a strand of hair, it will break a little bit easier than a strand of Saran hair, unless the Saran hair has breakage. But with kanekalon hair, I mean, for example, this doll was exposed to elements and all things like that. The most that's happened to her hair is it's faded a little bit. Just a tad. But I mean, look how new it looks. I wish you guys could see what her hair looked like when I had gotten her. It was just completely matted. 3 ponytail holders stuck in it. It's hard to get Saran to go from that to this. Like, it's hard to bring Saran back from something like that. And not only that, Saran hair eventually oxidizes and discolors. That's another thing I don't like about it. Kanekalon, if you have blonde hair like this, the most it's going to do is fade. Just a little. Or if you have colored hair, it might fade a lot. But I have so many Saran hair dolls that I've had to reroute because their hair just got so bad. So you would take a doll with Saran hair and it would be like a cotton ball, basically. And boil washing it is not going to make it like this. So that's why Saran is my least. I guess it's all personal, but kanekalon is my favorite because it's the easiest for me personally to style and restore and stuff like that. I like the way it feels. Like, it doesn't feel oily or anything like that. It's not clumpy. And this hair I use to reroot is shinier than Barbie grade kanekalon. It's a lot shinier. And you just get so much, so you can like make your doll's hair as thick as you want. Because you get, like, I think the huge packs of hair that I buy, they're like almost $5. And you get enough hair to reroot like 5 or 6 dolls, like 5 or 6 Barbies, like Barbie-sized dolls. And that's a pretty good bargain, so that's why I use this. Because I get a lot of hair, and it's just amazing. I just love kanekalon hair. I love how it moves. But yeah, that's basically my rant of my 23 minutes too long rant of why I don't really do doll restorations or customizations for people. I mean, like I said, there's always going to be there's always going to be more people that are going to be grateful that their doll has a full head of hair and that it's brushed out. And that the doll basically is cleaned. But then there's going to be those other people that are going to want the dolls to look exactly like they did when they were new, and no exceptions. So that's why I don't really do it. My methods are different than other people. I mean, I get lots of compliments on my dolls, like on Facebook and stuff like that. People are just like, wow, how did you do that to that doll's hair? And I feel like those are the types of people that would appreciate this. But, you know, like, then you have those other people that will be like, oh, well, one side of her bangs is higher than the other side. Like, it's slightly crooked. Like, it's 1 centimeter off than what it should be. And then it's just like, those are the types of people that I just don't want to deal with as far as, you know, restoring dolls. So it's just my own little thing that I do. My way of restoring dolls and customizing them isn't perfect by any means, but it works for me, and my dolls will, you know, last a long time because of it. I mean, this hair that I rerouted her with, I rerouted so many clone dolls with this hair, this same hair fiber. And before they had the really low budget dollar store quality that would frizz at the ends. And once that hair gets frizzy, it's like the stuff the Moxie Girls originally came with. Once it frizzes at the ends, it's like you have to trim it. You have to trim away all that frizziness before you like flat iron it and stuff. It's very tedious to get that hair to go back. And the hair that I put in, while it's not ideal, it's a million times better than what she had. And this hair will never go through dry rot, at least not from what I know. It will never dry rot and do all that stuff, so as long as it works, then I'm okay with it. It's not ideal, but it works. It gets the job done. So I mean, I really like it. But yeah, that's my rambly video. I was thinking out loud earlier, and probably for about a good 10 minutes, and I was like, I wish I had turned the camera on sooner, because there's probably a lot of other things that I've forgotten now that I had talked about, so. But you get the gist of it. You get the gist. But yeah, that's my awkward video of why I don't restore people's dolls. So, anyhow, thank you guys for watching. More videos to come, and remember to stay true to you.